Y va de nuevo mi Tony.
Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido. Siempre ando bien cuido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote, un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote, pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me para la chota, ya es por mi apariencia, que hay tantos delitos, que hay tanta demencia. Yo no cargo nada, no más mi presencia. Pinche puerco joto, atente a las consecuencias. Si no topa el poli en breve nos para en la calle. No puede salir uno conmigo porque ya hay detalle. No quiere que conteste, quiere que yo solo calle. Quiere mi dinero pero que chinga su madre. A la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo, pero tumbar gente quien les dijo que es trabajo. Puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo. Loco no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país. Todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs. Pa' ponerme más feliz, unos paisas de hachís, mis paisas en el gabacho bien truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato con los ojos bien tumbados, de coto con el quesada, rifando por todos lados. Atento si prendo un blunt en cabina cuando grabo, represento Nuevo León junto a mi carnal el Davo. Cuando voy pa' Jalisco el pasado está olvidado, con el perro de la C bien grifo, pedo y enfiestado. Chécate mi banderón unido como había soñado, bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado. Puro hip hop mexa hasta que amanezca. Pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca. Si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
Verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, viendo live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. Prende la mota en Canala o en Hitter. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones, llegó el mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palancas. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta, pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC da bolos desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme fama en YouTube. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los míos. Orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hable de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. El sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón, como el de un corridón. No quiera tomarme el pelo si ando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México, cabrón.
Es el perrito de la selva. La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Acá jalan horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi-yo, yipi-yucas. Guanas, Montegreen, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey yo, ey yo.
Somos la santa carnal.
Ey, ey,
Los machidones de la plaza.
Oye, DJ Dundek en los scratches. Desde alzada, mi perro. No saben quién soy o sí. Oye.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
This is the cipher tweet. Ahora Babylon Real. En esta ocasión traigo a los gangsters más gangsters de la zona. Y vengo con la familia gang. ¿Cómo dice? Llaman a Real. Traigo el mensaje puro y crudo para el momento. No palabras vanas que rompen los sentimientos. Lucharé y derribaré los muros del lamento. Pídeme pues te daré los sueños que están muertos. Nunca el demonio dio mensajes de amor, pero tampoco los dio el ángel que nos abandona. Quizás miremos diferente el reloj, pero tu cielo es el infierno donde el amor murió. Political violence, criminal silence, physical redemption hasta que acabe el baile. Deep Tropical styler, musical fraile. Muchas las promesas las que se han llevado al aire. Love and love and love. Siente verdad como doy mi corazón. No more, no more, no more. It's a reggae cypher. Feed the world. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Fue que me brotaron alas y ganas de volar. En las buenas mi terreno lleno, en las malas solar. Un muro que decorar, mis hermanos me sirven de guía, mi estrella polar. Guarda los hilos, me duele hasta respirar. Solo quiero ver verdad. Sigo buscándome lejos de lo que piensas. Más fácil de lo que crees, el esfuerzo trae recompensas. Vale la experiencia si es intensa. No tires de la cuerda si está tensa. Miraban al ocaso con tristeza. Las estrellas devolvían con grandeza su mirar. Nos vimos floreciendo en la maleza. La belleza de las piezas y comienzan a encajar.
Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
51, 52, con un micro de bambú. Más vueltas que Passepartout. Me siento en la old school. It's magnetic kung fu. It's a reggae magnatur. Por las almas sonrientes que acompañan a Zazú. En bambalinas y balú. Son rimas de menú. No salidas de velour, pero calidad y del sur. Homie, always lonely, but I feeling like a gangsta. 52, 53, a mí sí me ves venir. Por eso me llaman King, ese fue mi devenir. De marchar o seguir, nunca tuve que elegir. La music me eligió a mí, no tengo nada más que decir. Saifa, Puniga, Loba, Grimble, Fire, Killaman, Smoker, Chusta, Feel Light, Rasta, Child Metal, Kimanes. Original a reggae, Saifa again.
Interna en la villa del pingüino, entre los calines en la antena y los que se encuentran dormidos zarandean tus emociones cual barril de vino, cosas feas quizás en tus ideas, pero aquí no, yo no atino, disparo sin mirar a todo aquel vampiro que bien te quiera hincarme, bro. Si lo digo, no es para pensar, sino para aclarar lo que de siempre estás pensando. Acaba el tan magnífico, imposible de torcer metal, so start my friend, yeah. Reggae warriors again, making connection after connection. My new world, reaching the freedom from them. Me more. Nanny boy, represent this game.
What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo
falta
aquí.
presentación si existe nivel. Sobreviviendo en Babilonia escribí al papel mis problemas cuando al final pude entender que para ser feliz solo tienes que querer. Que solamente hay una vida y es para vivir. Busca siempre una alternativa para seguir. No dejes nunca que te digan que no es así. Y prende un poco de sativa para estar chill. Ey, superando ansiedades con el humo de cancha. Manchas de un pasado trágico en la cancha. Seguimos siendo fuertes, su mierda no me engancha. Mientras otros esperando a que lleguen en lancha. No matter where you come, no matter where you come from. Solo importa que prestes atención a este sound. Desde the original, kill a man al mando. Oh na na na.
Mira, soy un warrior, sonido legendario. Disfruto cada segundo cuando me subo al escenario. Tengo fuego en los labios, sigo cual mercenario. Pasos de gigante y cora revolucionario. Siento que es necesario, suena el reggae en los barrios, para que cale el mensaje y para salvar a los más sabios. Entre en mi imaginario, quemo cheques bancarios. Si vienes con la mala vibra, mejor bro, cambia tu itinerario. Ya, 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 ya. Cuando ruge el león suena la música real. Venimos con el ya, 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 ya. Sonido de guión es el sonido original. Ya, 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 ya. Reggae de corazón es el que se hace en unidad. Ya, 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 ya. What time is it? De reventar el beat. Reggae music and the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? De reventar el beat. Reggae music and the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Testing 1, 2, 3. There we go, family. There we go. All right. All right. Yeah, it was a kind of combination of two, man. All praise just to the glory of our creator. Good to have you guys here. Hey, what's up, bro? Shalom. Ecclesiastes 1:18. I'll read it in the quick. All will be revealed. Juan Moa. Juan Shalom. John 28:28. Bro, who's on the track? A few people. I'll post it after. Shalom. Oh, it'll show it actually when the class is done. It shows who it is. Shalom. Didn't have a class new. Didn't. Yeah, I know. It was weird. Hey, what's up, Adam? Good to see you here, bro. Pedro, what's up, bro? Okay, so now let me go back real quick. Ecclesiastes 1:18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. And you know, I'm glad you read that, man, because I know even if I have an understanding of what the folly in people, I still ask myself, man, just why? You know, it's like I still sometimes get reminded. My wife has to sometimes, why? Like, why? Yeah, I'm like, damn, you're right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's weird, man. But before we get into this topic of the MAMZERS part, I want to tackle something real quick. And I kind of want to go back to the point we were making last time because I missed something which I wanted to bring up again. But I also want to show you how how can I say this, man? Pues así como la pura neta, güey. Una mula bola de pendejadas, homie. And not only just pendejadas like pendejadas and shit. I'm talking about insulting pendejadas. You have dumbass wabos, completely West African looking. Your hair, your face, your flat nose, your big lips, your dark skin, your phenotype that is of Africa. You cannot sit here and tell us you're not African when you look just like them. They are laughing at you guys. Now, it's like you're trying to tell white people they're not from Europe. They're Asians. Yet you cannot find any kind of food or clothing relative to us being in Asia. Now, Asia's pretty broad. So what kind of Asians are you talking about? Now, I guess, one of the things we're going to hear today, right? And they're always banging on so-called Mexicans. Let me just be real with y'all, man. This whole thing about the 12 tribes, if there wasn't no so-called Mexicans on that chart, these negros would not have a problem with y'all. Those are facts, okay? So let's see. Middle Eastern people. So these are the so-called Middle Eastern people. Okay. And they're asking, well, I don't see no Mexicans in Egypt. Well, I don't see no Mexicans over there in Iraq. I'm like, bro. Last time we went to Mexico, went to Qatar. You know how many so-called Mexicanos were dressing up like these guys? And they were actually believing them? You have a variety of skin tones, a mixture. You see this one example. It's East. Look at this right here. You gonna claim them too? Or do they have to look like, I don't know, Denzel? Pretty darn dumb of you to think that way. But anyhow, before we go into this, you know what's worse? Making fun of a history that you have no clue what it's really about, and yet sitting here expecting people to believe the bullshit that we know it's not ever so clear anymore, or I was not ever so clear before. Now we have a very full understanding of the seditious, Canaanitish, Hamitic ways of your mentality, the bipolarism, the schizophrenia that leads to depression, that leads to pretend syndrome. So, but at the same time, we also know that also leads to extreme covetousness, jealousy, because you have what we call no escrupulos. You're empty in your spirit. There's nothing more for you to reach for. Only this. Let's go. Let's begin.
And I'ma let y'all go. Look, y'all. I'ma drop this gem on y'all, and I'ma let y'all go, man. I'ma let y'all go. Watch this. This is the Indian training schools. They had schools to teach them how to be Indians. Watch this, y'all. Now, look what it said. What did they do in the Indian training schools? Watch this. Such things, such as, they taught them such as farming and housekeeping. Now, come on, y'all. If they from this land, why they teaching them how to farm this land? I want you to go to the Library of Congress and pull up the information about their farming schools. About their Indian schools, y'all.
Your laughter itself should be enough to show how ignorant you are of the history of indigenous people. Because all these schools have massive graves. You truly hate yourself that much that you try to steal someone else's culture. Now, those schools were there to teach us how to be more human, civilized, because we were considered savages. However, your people, not by words, were not considered human.
No, they were actually indentured servants. They were also black conquistadors, West African servants, West African cooks, West African traders, West African shippers, West African owning of slaves. Canaan. That's who you are. Now, you got an idiot that comes to this channel, posted early. I don't know what class it was. And he goes, you can't tell the difference between Ham and Canaan? I'm like, bro, you are really from West Africa. Straight up. Because do you not know the difference between Ham and Canaan? Why would I notice the difference if you are what your father is, remember? Hello? Bruh. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's dumb, man. Let's continue with the insults. But again, this is to reinforce the spirit family because we're not destroying. We're building. I am strengthening your spirit because enough is enough. So I'm trying to feed you my fire. And everyone else is waking up and understanding that there's none of this anymore. So blessed is them that bless our people, Yahweh's children, right? But curse them that curse us. And I'm going to show you an example after this video. Okay, let's go.
There's a big difference. To the white men, you were considered property. And through centuries, the fight for equality continued. And now that this is coming to a reality, people like you are coming to indigenous people with this, trying to erase us from the map. But see, when we ask you to speak the language, to give history of the land, tradition, dances, people like you stumble.
Or the diet, or the cheese, or the milk. I mean, you are officially, and you're right, brother, all will be revealed. They are lactose intolerant. They can't handle cheese. They can't handle, because, you know, milk is cheese, right? I mean, cheese is milk. Fermented milk is what cheese is. Now, in Mexico, we have something called cajeta. And then this other thing called, my aunt used to make. It would let the sour cream, I believe, or the milk ferment into sour cream, but then it would make a different type of sour cream. I don't know what she called it, but it was really good. So you have milk, crema, you have yogurt, you have also eggs that are part of it as well. But it's mostly like actual milk, dairy product type. You know what I'm saying? You guys can't handle that. It goes in and it goes out. So the children of the Most High, they were fed goat's milk, cheese, pastries. You need that in order to make that. That's exactly what this brother's saying. But yeah, we'd ask you, okay, well, why don't you tell us about all of these things?
Tradition, dances. People like you stumble because you have no ground. Slavery truly did its job. To some of you.
That's damn right.
It was to rip the identity that you guys had. And you are the perfect proof of it.
Here's another idiot. Here we go.
We're not black. How about that? We're not black, nigga. We're Indian. Yeah. We're Native American. Yeah. How many of y'all grandmothers got Indian in your family?
Your grandmothers have Indian in your families. Well, remember Party Sequiter Ventrum, how they were kidnap our sisters and take them as slaves and rape them? Now it's making sense. That's why you guys only have like 1% of this native land, this native blood. And I'm gonna show you. Your so-called your God, the guy that you follow on TikTok, who says he's a native, but yet everything about his DNA is straight Africanus apparatus. Let's go ahead. Let's go.
Yeah, but what happened to the Indians? We black. Show me black on the planet. Why you stop recording?
He knows the fucking shit.
Why you sound crazy? Nah, because you think I sound crazy.
No, you don't sound crazy. You sound fucking legit. I'm still recording. You're talking true. You're talking true.
We not black. Race was made up.
You're talking true.
Race is made up.
Yeah, with the brown eyes.
Show me black. Show me black on the planet.
It was here first.
Show me black. Everybody else, they European. They Australian. They Chinese. They Japanese. Show me black.
See, family? You see? So you are what they call a hybrid. They feel that they are original people because they this is the reason why I'm going to read that book again. How Africans do not change no matter how much mixture that you put in. That's why the book was saying that Just like natives don't change no matter how much we mix, whether all light skin or dark skin, Africans don't change in regards to their features. Y'all have big noses, big lips, and afro hair. That's exactly what the features are. Because we see so-called Africans that have white skin, like the twins. Those are literally white people, but they're okay to call you Negroes, niggas, or niggers, whatever they say to y'all. They literally say that on YouTube, and you guys are okay with it because they have afro hair or big nose or big lips. That's okay with y'all, but they are totally white. They act white, they look white, except their hair, but that's okay with y'all, right? So it takes 1/8 of a so-called African feature to be so-called African, right? 1/8, but it takes us so much to prove that we are who we are. Because I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna have to do it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it as much as I can. You know why, family? Because maybe I have to just be the example and let the forefront show itself. Because I've showed on migrations. It is pretty funny. So-called DNA, the majority of it comes from this continent, and then I end up from those lands of where the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes of Israel, were taken, and then after that, were dispersed. So you come and debate that shit over. Since you want to go Bible, you can't mess with Bible. You want to go DNA, now you can't mess with DNA. You want to go history, now you can't mess with history. So what else can you mess with us with? Some stupid ass media Mongol here trying to say that he's blackity black or Indian because his mama got raped? Man, shut up.
Life on the planet. We marginalized as entertainers. Already seen the other side.
Marginalized entertainers, you're making millions, man. You're marginalized and you're making millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying, family? What are you gonna do? Give this man reparations too because he's black? What are you gonna do? You're gonna give black slavers reparation money too? How are you gonna determine that?
Nigga, I seen the fact.
So here's your king. Here's your god. That dumbass Africanist, fat dude looking, that doesn't like to look at TikTok, wears a stupid feather and thinks that makes him a native. So let's find out what his so-called DNA is, okay? This other, I'm gonna call him brother as a respect because he has his DNA and he's 90% African. So I'm gonna call him a brother in respect out of just as a human respect, okay? But that other dude, nah, I ain't calling him no brother whatsoever. That dude is a straight Canaanite. This man over here, he understands that he's not. And you know what? Spiritually, I don't think he is. He's of the other tribes. Because remember, family, there's tribes in this shit. It ain't just about how you look. Let's go.
And you say go straight to the results, correct? Yeah, I just was curious about your DNA results. Okay. Your DNA ancestry. I'm going to the results right now. Okay. My results, it says Nigerian, 38%. Cameroon, Congo, West Bantu people, 18%. Ivory Coast, Ghana, 14%. Benin, Togo, 10%. Senegal, 5%. England, well, you just interested in the African part, right? You know, mostly. I just wanted to see what percentage-wise of African DNA is running through your veins, my brother. Okay, it says 30. Well, we got that part. Okay. Nigeria's East Central, 2%. And that's all I see. Oh, yeah, Mali, 4%. That's all I see concerning the continent of Africa. Okay, good deal, good deal. My second question was, how much Native American ancestry do you possess?
Listen to this. Let's go.
Well, according to Ancestry.com, again, it says I have Indigenous American, Bolivia, and Peru, 1%. And Indigenous Americans, Mexico, 1%. Well, less 1%. Okay. I appreciate you showing that. You didn't have to, and you did. I appreciate it, but that kind of proves my point to what I'm saying as far as our history. My results are kind of similar, my brother. I'm 55% Nigerian. I've shared my screen plenty of times with the family, and when you take these DNA tests, they'll tell you that the origin of man originated out of Africa, at least about 200, 300,000 years ago. Modern humans walked out of Africa to populate the world.
Now again, this is again, if you follow the narrative. So if you make your doctrine of your DNA, then you're gonna fail, because then you're gonna go against the scriptures in this point, because they're going on so-called science at that point. Okay, but let's listen to this. I don't know who this guy is, but he made a good point. So I just want to finish it off with what he said, because he's telling the other guy, the Lord whatever, like, well, that's showing his DNA. So what he's confirming is, first you said don't believe in that, and then I think he did this before that video came out. And now he's like, well, I guess you're stuck now. So let's find out how you got stuck.
So now you want to believe in DNA. You've been telling people on this app, don't believe in DNA. DNA's false. Now, since you think the shit's agreeing with you, now you want niggas to believe in the shit. Like I said, every couple of months, you niggas change the shit that y'all believe in. Your ideologies fucking flip. This is weird as shit. So either you're going to stand on DNA, you can use it, or you're going to stand on DNA, you can't use it. Which one you going with? Because you are flip-floppy. Oh, DNA's fake, you can't use it. Lizard, spit in the tube. Oh, no, now we can use DNA to prove we are who our grandma said we is. So stand on it now. Since now you're using DNA to try to prove your grandma told you the truth, ain't no going back now. I just want you to know that. Ain't no going back now. It sucks for you, buddy. In a world of shit.
I love it, man. It sucks for you, buddy. You're in the world of shit. It's just lovely, fam. Hey, man, hit them likes, bro, and share. You know what I mean? We're having a little blast. We're not going to be too long on this class, family. It's just a retouch on the iniquity of the transparency. Because, again, tomorrow, fam, I think all we revealed, you said that. Tomorrow's class is really what I'm focusing on, family. I've put some really meditation, some prayer, and thought on this class that I want to do tomorrow, and that's going to be at least a good heavy point, because the similarity between Zionism and Pan-Africanism, which technically, if you look at it, it's Freemasonry, all in one, or Masonry. The whole shit like that, right? So anyways, let's go back to this idiot right here, because this Mr. Bushman here, and look, I posted it, nobody responds to me. You see that? Nobody responds. I don't know why they don't. Nobody responds. I mean, I responded. I still have not had anybody respond to me. So anyways, he brings up this page here again. Where is it at? This page? Okay, is this book here, right? Distinctive Characteristics of the Aboriginal Race. Okay? So we had read this part. Let me see. History, this one. Okay, so that's what he's reading. And he goes and tries to explain in his video, it cannot be questioned. So let me break this down again. Okay, I need you guys to understand what it's talking about here. Okay. All right, so we're going to go further into this page. So let's tackle it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with facing the facts, because if they're true, then it is true. We can't change it. Can't lie about it. So let's begin. It says here, it cannot be questioned. Remember, it's regarding culo miado. Okay, let's go. I'm going to make a shirt about that too. Culo miado is running. It says, page 5, it cannot be questioned that the physical diversities, pay attention, it cannot be questioned that that physical diversities do occur equally, singular, and inexplicably, okay? So diversities do occur, sometimes single, sometimes in unexpected ways, as seen in different shades of color, varying from a fair tint. What's a fair tint? Fair tint. Fair tint. What is that? A fair tint? Like a really fair tint, you know what I'm saying? Like in a car, I guess. Or, I don't know, fair tint? What, this color maybe? It's kind of hard to determine. What, pinkish light? You know what I'm saying? Like fair, you know what I mean? Lights in a way? Okay, cool. Not sure, but let's just kind of go with it. All right? It says here, seen in different shades of color, varying from a fair tint to a complexion almost black. Now, keep in mind that the term black derives from a Spanish term called negro, which means black, like actual, the shade of black. Black is not a color, okay? Just like white. White and black are shades. You understand that? So, negro, in those terminologies, people weren't looking black all over the cross. And if you look brown, they wouldn't call you, hey, you're brown. They would say, está negro. Like we say in Spanish sometimes, hey, está negrillo el güey. So anyhow, let me continue. And this too, under circumstances in which climate can have little or no influence. Meaning what? That sometimes you have people that may live in a hot climate, but will still be light skinned, right? Or some people that live in a cold climate, and may just be dark skinned. All right, so let's continue. So also in reference to stature, the differences are remarkably in entire tribes, which moreover are geographically proximate to each other. These facts, however, are mere exceptions to a general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian, all right, which is as undividedly. So this word here is where they get stuck. This word here is what this means, okay? It means undividing, undeviating, no showing no deviation, constant and steady. Okay, what more does it mean? All right, let's look up some other words. All right, keeping true to its course, unchanging, unvarying, steady, unwavering. So it says, these facts, however, are mere exceptions to a rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian. Why? Because before we read this, let's understand that he was saying physical diversities do occur, either singular or unexpected. I see from tints to shades of tint or a fair tint to a complex darker black, almost black. And also in some under circumstances, and it doesn't even depend on climate. Climate doesn't even have an influence on these things, right? So also the reference of stature and difference are remarkable the differences are remarkable in the entire tribes, which moreover are generally proximate to each other. These facts, however, so they may be different, they may be taller, they may be shorter, you know what I'm saying? Are geographically proximate to each other. These facts, however, are mere exceptions to a general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of the Indian. So whether we're tall, whether we're light skinned, whether we're, fat, short, ugly, good looking, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We all tend to be like, yeah, you guys look como si te dicen, pareces mexicano, like what these so-called Africans do, right? They assume you look a certain, well, you look Mexican. So here's how he emphasizes the point. It's kind of like, here, listen to this. This is their problem, family, okay? This is why these people have a mental problem. You guys have a mental problem because it's just like this. It's like they read Jeremiah 14:2. Okay, here's how. Because it's about famine, sword, and pestilence, okay? The entire chapter is about like that lamentation, lying prophets, people dying. The entire chapter almost, right? So the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah concerning their death. Judah mourneth, the gates their language. They are blackened to the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem goeth up. See, we're blackety black, but yet that's not what it's saying. Black means mourning. Look, language. Judah mourneth. Lament, right? They are black, dark, by implication to mourn. To mourn, heavily mourn. Hello? But if you read the entire chapter, then it goes back to their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits, found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They are ashamed and confounded and covered their heads because of the ground is chapped, for there was no rain. So it keeps going and going and going. But yet, for some odd reason, they say this right here determines the entire chapter, which is no different than these dumb wobbles who basically don't understand that he's talking about natives in this entire part right here. And then just for a very big example, he says, which is undividingly characteristic as that of the Negro. Meaning what? For whether we see him in the athletic Carib or the stunted Kaima or in the dark Californian or the fair Boroa, he is an Indian still and cannot be mistaken for being any other race, nor a fucking Negro.
Copyright disclaimer.
Yeah, that's for cussing. Copyright disclaimer for the cussing part. My apologies. So again, and it's it's perverting and at the same time comforting. You know what I mean? That's all. That's why I like your scripture, bro, that you brought out earlier. You know what I'm saying? I really like that. Ecclesiastes 1:18, it says, "For in much wisdom is much grief." It's like, man. And he that increases knowledge increases sorrow, because I know that these things do affect our gente, especially when you are, sorry to offend you, as dumb as them, meaning you don't want to study. The same conformity of the organization is less obvious in the etiological structure of these people. You see this? They continue with the way these people look, which not where no insight do they even consider like, like Negroes. At this point, you'll never hear Negro again on this for the rest of this place at all. You hear Negro one time. Oh, Jeremiah 14:2, as seen in the square rounded head, the flat or vertical occiput, the high cheekbones, the ponderous maxill, the large quadrangular orbits, the low receding forehead. I had an opportunity to compare nearly 400 cranial derived from the tribes inhabiting almost every region of the North Americas, and have been astonished to find how the preceding characteristics in greater or lesser degree pervade them all. You see this? I don't understand. So now let me show you one more. Check this out. Okay. Let me see if it's this one here. I think over here. That's right. I almost forgot. The next part is this over here. You see this idiot, and whoever's believing him, you're as dumb as he is. Or I don't know, man. You got mental issues. Because what I'm going to show you on the bottom, right? You guys totally ignore what it really says. So let's start at the beginning. Physical characteristics, which relate to the next page over here, but we're going to stay here in the first place. It says, in an adage among travelers, that he who has seen one tribe of Indians has seen them all. You see that? So much do the individuals of this race resemble each other. Hello? Notwithstanding their immense geographical distribution and those differences of climate which embrace the extremes of heat and cold. The half-flathed Fuegian, shrinking from dreary winters, has the same characteristics, lineaments, though in an exaggerated degree, as the Indian of the tropical plains. And these again resemble the tribes which inhabit the region of the West Rocky Mountains, those of the Great Valley of the Mississippi. Those again which skirt the Eskimos on the north. All possess along the long, lank black hair, the brown or cinnamon colored skin. So that's all he highlights. That is all he highlights right there. Man, quit trying to cheat. Your face.
Are you going to let the greedy heating companies and their
face up? You and your greed, guys. There he goes. You see this? All he does in the bottom, brown and cinnamon colored skin. So that's all he emphasizes. Then it says though, okay, again, Jeremiah 14:2. I'm not sure why. The heavy brow, the dull and sleepy eye, full and compressed lips. The salient but dilated nose. So, full and compressed lips. So, obviously, let's look up full lips. Full lips, okay? What do you say? That's all you see. As black people. No, shut your face up. Compressed lips. When have you seen black people with thin lips, family? Huh? When? When have you seen negros de África, cabrones, with these compressed lips? When? I'm asking, please answer, because that's what it says. So these guys see like our gente, like with thick lips and thin lips. That's what this says. That's what exactly it's saying. It says, all possesses alike the long, lank black hair, the brown or cinnamon skin color, heavy brow, the dull and sleepy eye, the full and compressed lips, and the salient but diluted nose. So the full and compressed lips, meaning that Some of our gente look like this, family. Watch, I'll show you. Let me see if I have it. I think I have it. Is it this one? No, they took it. Hold on. Somebody sent me a video. I think it was you. And was that you? Stop doing that.
The Moors betrayed
That was it. I have a video on this hold on, maybe I have it here on YouTube. Let me see. History. Let me go here. I have a video. I think it's a short video of some. I don't know who sent it to me. Maybe somebody sent it to me, or I was looking at it, and I'm not sure if I decided to save it. Let me see if I have it here somehow. Did I put it here? Excuse me. Let me see if I have it somewhere here. Anyways, it showed me a picture, like a video of experience of our gente, and it had our sister. It also had her brothers, I believe, her kids, and you could see the full lips of them. So, like for example, I have thin lips, but a few of my brothers don't, and my kids don't have thin lips; they have thick lips. So not everybody in my family has thick lips, just like not everybody in my family has thin lips. But that's not something we see in Africans, do we? No. You guys all have those unchanging, steady features, which even if you mix with the white man, even if you're almost as white, like bloodline as Bob Marley, because Bob Marley's daddy, Bob Marley's kids will always be white people, but yet they look like them with their hair and all, right? So yet that is okay. Anyhow, so that's what I'm trying to establish your family. They ignore these little things. So now let's move on to the other one. So now this is from James Adair. Now this one was written in 18 something, 1844, but this was written in 1775 or somewhere around that time, right? Watch what he says before I show you other little things. It says here, page 5. It says, it is remarkable that there are no deformed Indians. However, there are generally weaker and smaller bodied between the tropics than in the higher latitudes, but not in equal proportion. For though the Chickasaw and Choctaw countries have not been long divided from each other, as appears by the similarity of their language as well as other things, yet the Chickasaw are exceedingly taller and stronger bodied than the latter, though their country is only 2 degrees farther north. Such a small difference of latitude is so healthy a region could not make so wide a difference in the constitution of their bodies. The former are a comely, pleasant-looking people. Their faces are tolerably round, contrary to the visage of the others, which incline much to flatness, as the case of most of the other Indian Americans. The lips of the Indians are generally thin. Compressed lips, once again. Compressed lips, once again. And we know why they also get dark, because, they use bear grease. We've seen these before. So this is why I wanted to touch on this again, and we've seen the video. We know where this guy's going. We understand. Now, it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, though, fam. Anyways, let's show them a little bit of what you really are about. And no. So now that we see this, now you're gonna have to, you should by now, really, really consider this, okay? Really consider this. The scripture said that you would be enslaved by a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. Okay? A nation whose language you will not understand. Okay? And these people are going to take your kings or princes and put you in slavery, and you're going to serve the religion that they follow, which neither you nor your fathers have ever known. Deuteronomy 28:36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee. Now thou, meaning us, we choose this so-called king, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. Now it says the same thing in verse 64. Now I know you wobbled, I'm sorry, you BHIs love to run this, but I'm not going to read your favorite part. I'm going to read this part because you always ignore it. So it says, verse 20, chapter Deuteronomy 28:64. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Ezekiel 22:5. Those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which are infamous and much vexed. Oh yeah, let them. Ezekiel 32:9. I will also vex the heart of many people when I shall bring thy destructions among the nations into the countries which thou hast not known. Okay, so now check this out. Again, you said you'd be conquered by people that you didn't know, from a religion that you had no idea about. You said you didn't know Christianity. The white man invented it. All of that's crap, right? Okay, let's go.
This is King Jacob, double honors and all praise to the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Bashem Yashai. With Limitation 1:1, chapter 5. Her foes have become her masters. Her enemies are at ease. The Lord has brought her grief. Because of her many sins, her children have gone into exile.
We have a BHI wobble, family. I told you. Let's go.
Captain before the foes. In chapter 6, all the splendor have departed from the daughter of Zion. Her princes are like deer that find no pastors. In weakness they have fled before the pursuer. In chapter 7, the days of her afflictions in wandering Jerusalem, remember all the treasure that was in her old days. And when her people fell into enemy hands, there was no help for her, and her enemies looked at her and laughed at her destruction. You're looking at the Most High, chosen people over in America, American enemy in so-called African American and Negro, colored, and Latinos, and the Most High finna destroy the beast, and they were the Moors. These was like Bloods and Crips fighting each other.
Told you, family. Told you. Hold on a second.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
So before we move on to this other topic, what you got, bro? Let me see what you got. Poppy would just say that means all troll tribes went to Africa. Is where they went to worship other gods. That's stupid. Wida, it makes no sense. Wida, Yuda, or Huda, whatever, because at that time, that area wasn't even known as Judah. Don't play stupid with me. And look, family, I'm going to show you. Now we're going to move on to the next segment because, as you can see, we went from Wobbleism to Africanism to BHIism. And now we got Wobbleism and BHIism all like matched up together. You know what I mean? Like a nice little party. And I knew this was going to happen. I saw it coming. You guys didn't believe me, but I did. I saw it coming a long time. I figured, you know what? This is a plan. There's a trend I'm seeing, and this is the pattern. And you know, you guys either believe me or you don't. So again, family, we're gonna touch on the whole MAMZER topic. Okay. Now, before I do, I want to read this to y'all, so you guys can see what this is. Okay. This is from dictionary college book I have. And here's the definition of MAMZER as of 1562. Okay. So that's where that definition started to become somewhat popular. Okay. So let's keep it 100. Let's go. Some Hebrew words have been standard in English for centuries, which that's not true. There's no Paleo Hebrew. So that's already done and over with. We're speaking completely fake Hebrew. Okay. MAMZER, for example, first recorded in 1562, was frequently used to mean bastard during the Middle Ages, and people were familiar with the word from its use in Deuteronomy 23:3. MAMZER became obsolete by the 19th century, but it's still heard in Yiddish, MAMZER. Funny that it's very inconvenient when it's Esau's lying, but it's convenient when it fits your narrative, your African narrative, your dumb wobble narrative. Meaning the same and half dozen other things, including an untrustworthy man, a difficult man, an impudent man, a detestable man, a scalawag, or even a clever, quick fellow, like a quick-witted. So even you ever call a quick-witted man, for example, I don't know, somebody that you think is like quick in answering, da-da-da-da, you're a mamzer. Like mamon. No says mamon. Maybe that's where the origination of that word comes from, mamon. No mames. No mames, you mamzer. Right? So the reason I'm showing you this particular part is because, family, one thing that I've always tell people, right? And I've said it many times to brothers that I may not talk to anymore, or maybe I do, or maybe they don't, they keep their distance. But when I've had people tell me, oh, well, there's just some discrepancies in the translations, and, I don't know if I could believe that book and this and that. Okay, well, listen, I tell them, and maybe they can testify. I don't know. It's up to them. Maybe someday they will. I say, well, listen, if you doubt the new, then you're doubting the old, because every translation has been done by man. So it's our job to decipher the truth and use what we can, because we're all seeing things in part. And the problem with people is that they're respecters of men. They are respecters of men. And Al, man, since you're kind of hitting the scriptures, man, I like where you're going. I think you're in the spirit. Any of respecters of men we're talking about regarding this particular topic? Those that are respecters of men favor themselves because you think someone's going to take your spirit away. But you see, that spirit was never given to you by man. It's not our job to wait to give you the spirit. It's like the brother Paul said, listen, we can give you we can bring you the word, but it's the Most High that waters it and makes it grow. We all can do our best, but we don't give you the spirit. It's the Most High that decides that. So when people tell you, oh, you know what? If you leave this camp, then you ain't in the spirit and you lose your spirit. And what do? Yeah, you're probably right. You're right, man. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden now, your respect of faith is towards man. Towards man. Not towards the laws, not towards the Most High, towards man. Thank you, bro. Oh, that's James. That's right. I was thinking of 3, but good. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of law as transgressors. It wasn't James. I was reading James 2 days ago. Let me see if I can get that one. That's 2:9. Let me see what I think I was looking at 3. Here it goes right there. That's it. That's the one. Okay, so here it goes. James 2:1. You were not outmarried. All praise, bro. Thank you very much. My brethren, have not faith of the Lord. Have not the faith of our Lord, the Meshiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. You see that? Don't let your faith be based on someone else saying it's based on what they taught you at all. Oh, we're the home of the truth, Ak. No, you're the home of the demon. It says here, my brethren, have not the faith of our Mashiach with respect to persons. So if I'm over here having some serious doubts, but I don't want to leave because, oh my God, what if I don't have the spirit? But then you know what? You're a respecter of person. All of you that cry to Nate the Snake, especially you women, oh man, y'all are totally blowing the guy. You might as well sleep with him, straight up. For if they come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring, or on a horse, in godly apparel, or on a horse, and there come also a poor man in vile raiment, like for example me, and this big beaner wetback don't know shit. Now you got also Chicloso saying he's blackety black, bro. He's calling himself a Negro, family. But he says me, who I may look like him, he calls me a heathen. For there come unto you assembly a man with gold ring, purple and gold, IUIC, in godly apparel, all making it seem like, yeah, we got the truth, or that stupid ISUPK class. And there come also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect unto him that weareth the gay clothing. Oh, woo. I didn't say it. Gotcha, bitch. The scriptures did. and say unto him, sit down here in good place. Listen, family, IUIC, all those camps, they always put their so-called captains and officers. Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Go, hey, go clean the bathroom. Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. Hey, go get the trash can. Man, I don't want to. Hey, you're out of order, Rock. You don't got the spirit. That's it. We're kicking you out the camp. And then you go like a dummy. And ye have respect to him that weareth gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, and sit here under my footstool. And are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? It's very pretty standard and satisfactory for me. I don't think I need more explanations. Deuteronomy 1:17, ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of the man, for judgment is God's, and the cause of that is too hard for you. Bring it unto me, and I will hear it. You see? So, hey, leaving my little so-called little me, right? You should listen to this matter. Oh, no, he ain't from a camp. Who is his leader? Nah, he's probably an agent. He don't know nothing. He's just a racist. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do, not be a respecter of person. Respecter of person. So when you guys go around listening to these idiots, and you think, oh, it's because they're Judah. You don't know that, man. I'm telling you right now, they're not Judah. I'm telling you right now, they're not Judah. They haven't proved shit. They've only been teaching fake history. And I'm just proving it to you right now in Deuteronomy 28. How in the world can they be? How come nobody ever tries to bother this channel and say, no, you're wrong, whatever, this and that, and like they say, this and that and the third? They can't say it. Because look, these idiots would go to Deuteronomy 23 and 3 and say, oh, you see, you're a bastard. You're a mamzer. So it says, Deuteronomy 23 and 2. As a matter of fact, let's go to 1, so I can give you in context what they're talking about, okay? And said, he that is wounded in the stones, or he that his privy members cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Meaning, if your testicles are destroyed, okay, or you don't have no, let's say, wiener, then you cannot enter in the congregation of the Lord, because you can't produce. Okay? Now, that's 1. 2, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to this 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Now, in this translation of theirs, they go by, the Khazarian translation, and they say that's a mamzer. So that's a mongrel. Mongrel is a mixture of a dog. That's why when you call yourself stupid, like mestizo, I'm a mestizo. Are you a dog? Are you a mixed breed? Which is pretty stupid for these guys to say, oh, you're a mamzer, but yet the seed comes from the man. So then, well, why would that make you a mamzer? You would just be another nation, maybe? You know what I'm saying? Or if it comes from your seed, then it's not a mongrel because it's of the father. I mean, you guys so eloquently love running to this. Number 118, it says, and they assembled all the congregation together in the first day of the second month, and they decreed their pedigree after their families by the house of their fathers. Right? So the seed of the father. So this means that the way that our Creator looks at things is there's no such thing as you're half this or half that. You are full of one thing. You may look like another nation, but you're still that seed. So how can this be a mamzer, mongrel, or a mixed breed? Fopi, your ignoramuses. Why are you guys making it so easy for me? I'm embarrassing you with your own classes. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 23. Family, this is why it's very important that not only do you study well, but root yourself properly first before you go and expand yourself with other material. Because I'm going to show you something that it's funny that some people like to stretch their so-called knowledge and use some books, right? And then ignore what the actual books are saying. So I'm going to show this to you first. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation, right? So we know a bastard is so-called mixed or born of a Jewish father and a heathen mother. It's very rare to me to see this because I've showed you guys that we have laws that have to do with the spoils of war, right? Or if you actually, take the women and the children, like scriptures would tell us to do sometimes, and if you want to mix with one of the actual slaves, that you actually we have laws that that show us how to conduct ourselves with them, not just treat them as slaves. No. It says it clearly that if that's the case. So he's talking about young men in war, 20 years old, 21, that are not married. Okay? And we see this very clearly. The sons of Moses, the sons of Joseph, they were what? Are they MAMZERS? No. So let's explore this a little bit because it also says here, remember, first is talking about people that don't have testicles or their sausages are gone. Okay? Then it says here, an Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to the 10th generation. It shall not enter into the, hold on, let me take this out. They shall not enter into the congregation, that shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Why? Is it because God, our creator, Yahoo, doesn't want us to mix with them? No, listen, because they met you not with bread and with water in the way when ye came forth out of Egypt. And because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor, of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. Hold on a second. So what it's saying is, listen, I don't want you to mess with these people. Not because, they taint your seed. No. Because they had an evil eye against you. An evil eye against you. Nevertheless, the Lord thy God would not hearken unto Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity all the days of forever. Watch this. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in the land. Who was Manasseh and Ephraim's mom? I'm sorry. Yeah. Who was it? Joseph had Ephraim and Manasseh. Who did he marry? An Egyptian woman. And it says here, the children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their 3rd generation. So we see an extinction here of 10th generation, and then also 3rd generation. And it says, don't abhor an Edomite, don't abhor the Egyptians, right? If you mess with them, well, you're going to have to go through some processes here, okay? Now, hold on a second. We're not done, though. But initially here it says, man, don't mess with these two right here. So first of all, it says, don't mess with a cut-off nutsack or a cut-off sausage. But what does this bastard mean then? How can it go from don't mess with, someone that's cut off in the sausage or no tenders, right, so to speak, like my kids say, to, don't, like the mixed people they're done. Moabites. Who's this bastard here? Are you saying we're Ammon and Moab? But yet you hate Esau so much. But he's right here, your brother, if he supposedly is your brother. But now, this is from, and thank you, my brother, for giving me this information, because I know I had, looked into it, but you kind of told me at the right time. This is a book called The Septuagint. Okay, you guys have heard of this book many times. The Septuagint is a particular translation. Give me a second. Where's it at? A translation, because it went from Hebrew to Greek to every other translation. So now the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you look at the translations of, that's why I said earlier, I always told y'all, you better chew on the whole roll. You can't just pick and choose what books you want to read or which books to believe. You better take the whole scriptures, but you take your time. You don't rush. The Most High will give you, as time goes on, what you need at the moment that is done. If you rush, you fall. So check this out. I knew about this book, but I never bothered to look at it. Now, I knew that there was discrepancies in the translations in every single Bible, including King James. Yeah, because in King James, in the Old Testament, it says that 70 came with Joseph, but in the new one, it says 75. Those are just one of the few. So now, again, I always stood ground that, hey, listen, I have the foundation. I do have the faith. Please, Father, just guide me to the right place. So now let's read. Okay? Let's read this Septuagint, which is the actual, like, back in, to almost 2,000 years ago. Okay, this is the translation. It went from Hebrew to Greek. This is not a translation. I mean, this is not an interpretation, because that's what the other Bibles became. This is a translation, meaning like almost word for what it meant from Hebrew to Greek. Some of it's going to be read a certain way. So that's why it says it, a translation, not an interpretation. That is a big difference. Okay. Which is what KJV and all these other ones that you guys are, oh, well, I don't want to read that. Well, guess what? Then don't read the Bible. I mean, those are just facts. Don't read the Bible. If you don't believe in the new, then that means you don't believe in the old. Because if you say the new has issues, well, guess what? So did the old. In every translation. So let's begin. It says here, now, Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 1. Okay? So we read here what it means. He that is wounded in the stones and has privy members cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Verse 2, a bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. 10th generation. And then it says, a Moabite shall not enter because they were against you, blah, blah, blah. All right? Right? So check this out. So that's why you got to take everything, all the whole scrolls family, and you have to be patient. In your patience, ye possess your soul. That's why it says, read, study to show yourself approved unto our Creator, Yahweh, until it's time. Listen to this. It says here, right here. Let me magnify this. Okay, so you guys don't miss it, okay? Verse 1 of chapter 23, Deuteronomy. He that is fractured or mutilated in his private parts shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord. Okay? Verse 2. One born of a harlot shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord. So this is what that word meant at that time, translated from Hebrew to Greek. Okay? Harlot. So I'll give you an example. I cannot remember if somebody could help me on this, okay? Well, let me read this real quick. Psalms 118 and 8. It is better to take full refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. Man, you're a respecter of people. That's who they are, okay? So now, I don't remember which scripture it is, Leviticus, I think. It says here, yeah, I think it's for sure Leviticus. It's talking about marriage laws. So it says that, for example, in my family it happened. Okay, not my family, my brothers or sisters. I won't name names, but one of them had a baby with obviously my ex-brother-in-law. He left to the military. She cheated on him. Not just cheated on him, she got pregnant from the other guy. So that right there, scriptures say that she's a whore and that she must die because she was married and committed adultery. And on top of the adultery, she had a child with an adultering man. Which is why it's extremely, extremely not acceptable. Okay? That's what it actually means. Because I've showed you the definition of what mamzer meant, and usually, or at least I should say, that it was not a word used at that time. Just like negro, mamones, pendejos. Mamzer was not used in 2000, in the times of the Meshiacha or the beginnings of Constantine, all of them fake religions. No, it was being coined in 1562. Where? Here in America. Why? From who? From these famous friends, you know what I mean? These two Pan-Africanists and Zionists. This is why they're pushing this family. Tag team back again. Check it a record. Let's begin. That's what you're trying to do. But you know what? It ain't going to happen no more. So now let's go to the other page so you can see exactly what it's talking about. Watch this. It says here, the Ammonite and the Moabite shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord, even until the 10th generation. He shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord even forever, because they met you not with bread and water by the way, when ye went out of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam the son of Beor of Mesopotamia to curse thee. But the Lord thy God would not hearken to Balaam, and the Lord thy God changed the courses into blessings, because the Lord thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not speak peacefully or profitably to them in all the days forever. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, because he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. If sons be born to them in the third generation, they shall enter into the assembly of the Lord. You see this? Did he say if sons and daughters be born to them, they shall enter into the assembly of the Lord? No, he said sons because it's of the Father. So now, let me not ignore this. So here's what we're gonna dissectify. Hold on a second. What is it? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna show you this real quick. You see, family, this is what I'm talking about, and we knew that it was gonna happen. You see, when you're dealing with people like this, okay. Let me show you. When you're dealing with people like this, all right. Jubilees chapter 10, verse 28. And guess what? We have an actual camp that wants to call you Mexicans, heathens, and MAMZERS. And they use Jubilees to prove a slight point, but they ignore the rest of it. Very interesting. Jubilees 10 and 28. And Ham and his sons went into the land which he was to occupy, which he acquired at his portion into the land of the south. And Canaan saw the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt, that it was very good. And he went not into his land of inheritance, to the west, that is, to the sea. And he dwelt, to the west, that is, to the sea. West Africa. West Africa. West Africa. West Africa. Let me say it again. West Africa. Okay? And he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward, from the borders of Jordan and from the borders of the sea. And Ham, his papa. So you see, dummy, Ham and Canaan are pretty much hand in hand. So there is no difference between Ham and Canaan. So if you stood next to your daddy, I couldn't tell who it was because obviously you look like your daddy, dummy. Ham, his father, and Cush and Mizraim, his brothers, said to him, who have a little bit more logical mind and a little more understanding, you have settled in a land which is not yours. They respectfully know how their lot falls. But you, Canaan, you guys have no respect, only respect of persons. You have settled in a land which is not yours, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not do so, for if you do so, you and your sons will fall in the land and be accursed through sedition. For by sedition you have settled, and by sedition will your children fall, and you shall be rooted forever. Sedition means people that like to create agitation. People that want to do things based on rebelliousness. Rebellion is as witchcraft, family. We know that because I've showed you the scriptures. I'll show you real quick. I know it's 1 Kings 15 something. I think. Hold on a second. Rebel. Oh, my bad. I might have fun. Let me see. Maybe I get it here. Let me see. 15, 1 Kings. That's what's coming to mind. First key. I can't recall. I can't remember. But anyway, let me remind you of this though. I do want to remember this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Clearly, you are a rebellious nation. Clearly, rebellion is as witchcraft. And when you start bugging out, right? Hey, yeah, you bugging out. You must use the KJV only. One way to use those books. Yeah, well, it's funny that they say that because we're gonna see One West use it. But anyways, before we go here, here's what we're talking about. This is straight rebelliousness right here, family, and that's why it was just a matter of time that people go back to their spirit. And again, no matter how much you try, no matter, it's kind of like this. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it will always be a pig. Enjoy. Merry Christmas.
Shalom, 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 family. This your king and shepherd coming with I ain't gonna say another message, daily edification, because we finna eat around here. It's Yahweh Shai day again, all right? We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. All praises due. We dedicate this day every time we come together. We dedicate the time that we come together to our son and brother that gave his life on the cross for the redemption of Israel. All praises. Before we get started, just want to bring out a quick precept. This is 1 Timothy 1:4. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which the power have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. For every creature of the power is good, and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of power and prayer. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Meshiacha Yahweh Shai. Let's give it up for the Father. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. 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 Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh.
Hey, isn't there a scripture that says not to do that, man? It says, don't be like those people, repetitive. Matthew, what is it? Matthew 4? Matthew 6, I'm sorry. There's a Matthew 6 on this one, man. It's got to be, man. You can't be doing that, man. It says, Matthew 4 or 5. Which is it? Listen, Lord's Prayer says, and when thou, Matthew 6:5, it says, and when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closets, and when thou shut down thy door, pray to the Father which is in secret. And it says here, let me skip this real quick. But when ye pray, use not vain repetition as the heathen do. What the hell is going on here?
All praises. All praises. All right. Peace and salutations to you, Royal House of David. I hope y'all wasn't thinking that we finna get out of here before I showed you the spread, right? We got to make sure these Pharisees is good and mad. So, Sergeant, take this. We in there? All right. We're going to show the spread. All right. What we got over here, mama? We got chicken wings. Got some white rice. Oh, yeah. Mac and cheese. I'm singing again, nigga.
Here you go.
Look here. You got me in there? You got me? Y'all see the knife? Oh, y'all gonna love this. Look. One for the money, two for the Pharisees. Look here. We got 2 hams with extra glaze for you niggas. All right. Now I'm gonna get the first cut. Did you get it out? I want you to bring it in closer. Closer. All right. We want that. We want.
I told you, family. All praises, Yahweh. All praises, all praises, all praises, all praises. All thanks for the food. Hey, all praises, all praises, all praise. Shalom, all praise, double honors, Father. All praises, shalom. All praises, all praises. Oh, look at this. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Yahweh Shai. Happy Yahweh Shai Day. That's what they call. Oh, shoot. That's what they're calling it? Are you guys serious? Yo, you might as well just go, dude, you guys are Christians, straight up Christians, Christmas Christians to the fullest once again. Like I said, family, no matter how much lipstick you can put on a pig, it will always be a pig. Never change its ways. Because you know what? No matter how you try to condition people to be someone else, to try as hard as they can, right? They'll always be them.
IRS agents, and I'm going to line them up across the southern border.
They'll always be them, family. I don't know what the hell that was about. Hold on a second here. Bro, that's not the video, dude. What the hell is wrong with you? Here it goes, right here. Sorry, family. Trying to make a point.
Your engine is not revving up. You know what you need? You need
Yeah, that's what they are. Christianity. All day, every day. Now we got BHI practicing this stuff. You know they'll be doing this too, family. I'm telling you. This is next for BHI, fam. They're doing it already on Passover. They're doing it already. All praise is due to the Father and the flesh. You're the dwelling here, earth, blah, 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 blah. Yep. We love it. The food looks good. Yahweh Shai Tawada, whatever. All that. Listen, I'm not saying it. They are. So also Chicloso, that's next for you. So let's now move on to the whole MAMZERS shit and see how stupid these people really are. Fat Albert is not an Israelite. Damn, I never knew that. Woo! Me either, bro. Matthew 23 and 5. Let's see what that is about. It says here, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. And they love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues. And the greetings in the markets to be called men, Rabbi, Rabbi. This is IUIC and ICPK. Every high holy day, whatever, when they get together, supposedly high holy day for them, they do black market, they call it. The black market, they call it. You know what I'm saying? And then they got feast days, right? And the uppermost expensive rooms. They go to hotels, right? Right? They get all their garments, enlarge their borders of garments. They come in with horses and shit. All that stupid thing. Yeah, all of it. And now we got another set of idiots. So let's go ahead and slap these fools around, right? Let's listen into the stupidity. And look how they're going to actually fall into themselves again, because they're going to go to the book that we kind of showed who they are. But apparently, they're going to say something else. Ecclesiastes 1:15, that which is crooked cannot be made straight. That's very true. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. And that which is crooked cannot be made straight. And that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Woo. No matter how hard you try. No matter how hard you try, you're not his children.
I'm going to pull out the definition of MAMZERS, and then we'll let you go ahead and go to Deuteronomy 23. So let me pull that up right quick.
Before we get off that chapter, man, we can keep on reading down and it gets serious. It actually
take the daughters of Israel, and he wanted the sons of Israel.
Watch, right? Check this out. So they're going to go to an explanation of what happened to Jacob and his daughter, Dila. Okay? So they're going to base it all off of that situation. They're going to use a book, and then I'm going to show you how they just completely ignored what he was talking about. Okay? So again, you are putting your own Canaanite foot in your Canaanite mouth. Let's go.
And Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem, and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem, and slew all the men whom they found in it, and the 4th month. And there carried off Dinah, the daughter of Yaakov, into the house of Shechem.
That's the only reason why we're jumping to Jubilees.
We're going to go. So go ahead.
They're going to Jubilees, family. Yes, they're going to go to Jubilees. Believe it or not. Okay. So now watch what they go to Jubilees for. And then just ignore everything ahead and before. Okay. Or the scriptures. And clearly, this is all a narrative. It's clear that we know now what this is all about. Okay. Check it out.
Turn to Jubilees chapter 30. Because what we want to establish here is we want to show you that the Most High was not planned when it came to mixing. And even before the law, no mixing was already established. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So go ahead and go to the book of Jubilees.
He said, even before the law, no mixing was established. Right? This is how stupid they are, family. Genesis chapter 1, verse, I believe, 21. Let's go to. Okay, here goes. Verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over the creeping things that are creeping upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. Wait, I thought you said that there was no mixing prior to the commandments. Let's continue.
Chapter 30. And I want to show you something. All right.
Now, before we before we jump into to Jubilees chapter 30, I want you guys to understand this is just a more in-depth story about Dinah. That's all.
See what he said? The only reason they're going to Jubilees is because it's a more in-depth story about Dinah or Dilla or Dila, okay? So they open Jubilees. So guess what? I'm gonna open Jubilees and slap it. Use these books to slap your dumbass wobble West African Canaanite faces with it. Let's go.
The only reason why we're jumping to Jubilees. This is just a more in-depth story about Dinah that's in Jubilees, but it's the same person. Okay, so I don't want anyone to think that we're trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes and go to stuff that people don't understand. Okay, this is just a more in-depth story of how Dinah went. Okay, Slakia, brother, go ahead.
All right, so let's start with verse 1, Jubilees chapter 30 and verse 1. And it says, "In the first year of the 6th week, he went up to Shechem, to the east of Shechem, in peace in the 4th month, and there carried off Dinah, the daughter of Yaakov, into the house of Shechem, the son of Kamar, and Shivi, the prince of the land. And they laid with her, defiled her, and she was a little girl, a child of 12 years old." So she was only 12 when that happened to her. Verse 3, "And he besought his fathers and her brothers that she might be given to him to be his woman. And Yaakov and his sons were wroth because of the men of Shechem, for they had defiled Dinah, their sister, and they spoke to them with evil intent, and dealt deceitfully with them, and beguiled them." And I'm going to read this, and then we're going to explain verses 4 through 6. "And Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem, and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem, and slew all the men whom they found in it, and left not a single one remaining in it. They slew all in torments, because they had dishonored their sister Dinah. And thus let it not again be done from henceforth that a daughter of Yasharel be defiled, for judgment is ordained in heaven against them, that they should destroy with the sword all the men of Shechem, because they had wrought shame enough." And get this, and this is the part I want you to really see. It says, "And Yahuwah delivered them into the hands of the sons of Yaakov." Now, why do you think that the Most High allowed them to be delivered into their hands? Because if you read earlier, because Shechem wanted to take, after that incident that happened, Shechem wanted to take the daughters of Israel, and he wanted the sons of Israel to take the daughters of Shechem. So the Most High wasn't having that. So that right there tells you how serious mixing is. And this is something that we have to really take in consideration and take seriously, because it was never meant for us as a nation to blend in with the other nations. We were always supposed to be set apart. And that's the issues we're having right now. And even amongst the awakened Israelites, with this 12 tribe chart that they're pushing, calling the Mexicans Israelites. And
See, family? See? It's not about Hispanics, I mean, it's about Mexicans. Canaan hates our gente. They hate our gente. And they specifically hate that Meshiacha tribe. Because this is all they say. They say Mexicans, Hispanics, I'm sorry. This guy looks, sorry to say it, Taino brothers, but he looks Puerto Rican-ish. I mean, he don't look nothing like him. You're probably like my skin tone. And you don't have his skin tone, so how do we know you ain't half white? Since you guys are supposedly considering MAMZERS or mongrel or hybrid or hybrids. Let's continue.
Hispanics, which we're going to show you why they're doing that, and we're going to annihilate that. But that has been the biggest stumbling block within our people. For some reason, we have a serious lust, serious taste for strange women. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's what our forefathers struggle with. And that's something that we have to really, really break free from. So, brother, I'm just going to pull up. I'm going to pull up the definition of MAMZERS, and then we'll let you go ahead and go to Deuteronomy 23. So let me pull that up right quick.
Before we get off that chapter, man, we can keep on reading down and it gets serious. It actually,
yeah, go ahead.
Straight up.
While I'm pulling this up.
Okay, come on. Jubilees chapter 30, and I'm going to start at verse 6, Israel, and I'm going to read down so we can actually get a clear picture and see what exactly is going on. It says, and the Lord delivered them unto the hands of the sons of Jacob, that they might exterminate them with the sword and execute judgment upon them, and that might not thus be done in Israel, that a virgin of Israel should be defiled. And if there is any man who wishes in Israel to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is of the seed of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. They shall.
Let's say there are verse 7, Jubilees 30 and 7. It says, and if there's any man who wishes in Yeshayahu to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is of the seed of the Gentiles, he shall surely die. And they shall stone him with stones. For he has wrought shame in Yeshayahu, and they shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the name of the house of her father, and she shall be rooted out of Israel. And let not an adulteress and no unclean be found in Yeshayahu throughout all the ages of the generations of the earth. So it's talking about women for sure. But now, what just happened here, family? So let's go ahead and summarize this real quick, okay? Let me. By the way, I'll read that in a little bit. Hey, look, we gotta wobble BHI. You have to let them believe a lie that they haven't been mixing with whites over. It's pretty stupid, Negro. You've been mixing with whites. You guys been mixing forever. Miscegenation. You should look it up. I bet you, guaranteed, you do your DNA, you got about 30% of Weddle. Oh, yeah, you're probably the same girl. You know, you change names all the time. It's pretty stupid. Hit the link. Here, I'll show you. You think you're a Hebrew? Let's break down Deuteronomy 28. See if you can do it. I'll show you how you're not. I'll show you who you are. So let me explain exactly what's going on here, okay? The son of Hamor defiles Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. All right? So this is what's going on, family. In the first year of the 6th week, he went up to Salem, to the east of Shechem in Shalom, in the 4th month. And they carried off Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, in the house of Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite. Oh, my bad. My bad, bro. I apologize, by the way. Yeah, that's me. It's because I got a lot of people attacking the channel, man. I apologize. Well, maybe we don't understand each other. I don't know. Anyway, so it says here, the son of Hamor, the Hivite. The son of Hamor, the Hivite. So the Hivite, like what is that? What is that? So now, see, everything has to be written in context, family. Who's the Hivites? Who's the Hivites? So the Hivites are a group of descendants of Canaan. Okay? A group of descendants of Canaan, son of Ham. Of the table of nations, which they use when West uses this table of nations. Okay? Genesis 10:17. Variety proposed, blah, 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 blah. The Hivites in the land of Canaan, no consensus has been reached about their precise historical identity. So now, if we go back to Jubilees, it's saying here, these guys here, this nation, the prince of the land, and he lay with her and defiled her, and she was a little girl, a child of 12 years old. And he besought his father and her brothers that she might be given to him, to his wife. Like, what? Wait, what are you talking about, man? This is a little girl. So now, listen, family, be as innocent as a dove, right? But as wise as a serpent. We've been told those things, right? So that's exactly what they did here. And Jacob and his sons were wroth because of the men in Shechem. For they had defiled Dinah, their sister, and they spoke to them with evil intent and dealt deceitfully with them and beguiled them. And Simeon and Levi came unexpectedly to Shechem and executed judgment on all the men of Shechem. Of what nation? Canaan. Canaan had 7 sons. Hivites were one of them. And slew all the men who were not found in it. Now, why is that important? Because if you look back at this entire chapter, it's actually talking about those things and why it's important not to mess with these people. that they might exterminate them with the sword and execute judgment against these people. Now it says here, and that there any man who wishes to, it's Ishayahu, to give his daughter, if there be any man to give his daughter or his sister to any man who is of the seed of the Gentiles, which is those people in that land. Because you know why, family? Here's why. Okay? I'm going to show you why. Because in Deuteronomy chapter 1, it says, and when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and cast out many nations before thee. Hold on a second. I'm going to read it to you in this translation so you can see. So we can also smack a couple of these so-called wise people of the scriptures, and I'll show you. You say like, oh, we're the people of the book because we're so mighty. No, the Most High didn't pick the mightiest nation. You're what are you talking about? It doesn't even work that way, man. That's not what the Most High did. He don't work like that. He didn't choose his children because they were the greatest. He chose them because they were the least of the people. And I'm going to show you this, okay? Deuteronomy, again, this is from the Septuagint. And again, we're looking at different translations. I'll read it back to the other way too, okay? Watch this real quick. It says here, let's see. I think it's, hold on, let me see if I've got the right chat, the right, bringing the land. Okay, no, that's Deuteronomy 7:1. We are Deuteronomy 7. I think it's over here. Deuteronomy 7:1. Okay, it's over here. Sorry, fam. There's just, here goes right here. It says, all right. And when the Lord, Deuteronomy 7:1, it says right here, okay. And when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land unto which thou goest to possess it. Let me magnify this. Okay, to possess it, and shall remove great nations before thee, the Shethites, the Girgasites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites or Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations more numerous and stronger than you. You hear this, family? More numerous and stronger than you. But I thought that you guys were the strongest, greatest, fastest, most ability in the entire world. But it says here that no, Canaanites, Girgasites, Hivites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites, the West African nations, because that's where you're supposed to be. Those are the greater nations, meaning as in there's more of you and you guys are all bigger than us. Oh, I'm going to get to it. Don't trip. And the Lord thy God shall deliver them into thy hands, then thou shalt smite them, and thou shalt utterly destroy them. What did it say? Exterminate them. Exterminate them. Why? We're going to continue finding out why. Okay? And the Lord thy God shall deliver them into thy hands, and thou shalt smite them. Thou shalt utterly destroy them. Thou shalt not make a covenant with them. Neither shall ye pity them. Neither shall ye contract marriages with them. Thou shalt not give thy daughter to his son, and thou shalt not take his daughters to thy sons. Why? For he will draw away thy sons from me, and he will serve other gods. And the Lord will be very angry with you, and will soon utterly destroy thee. Why? But thus shall ye do to them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and shall break down their pillars, and shall cut down their groves, and shall burn with fire the graven images of their gods. For thou art a holy people to the Lord. Why? Because remember the Druids, the book I showed you about the Druids, the Canaanites, the Amorites, they were the ones practicing Druidism, sacrificial children, sacrificing their children, worshiping Baal, Ishtar. That's where all of that came from. Exactly where this all came from. Let me read verse 7. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee unto him, a peculiar people beyond all nations that are upon the face of the earth. It was not because ye were more numerous than all the other nations that the Lord preferred you, and the Lord made choice of you, for ye were fewer in number than all other nations. But because the Lord loved you, and as keeping the oath which he swore to your fathers, the Lord brought you out of which a strong hand, and the Lord redeemed thee from the house of bondage, out of the hand of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. But remember, Joseph is Egyptian, wife,
Remember the wife of Moses? Keturah. Nobody really knows where she came from. So she maybe was from that region, maybe a pharaoh again. It says, do not pour an Edomite, do not pour an Egyptian. However, utterly destroy these people. Why? Because this is a seditious nation of people, which is why it says in Jubilees 10. Now, if you go back to all these other books, okay, these started at 30. Let's go back to 29. Look, after Rachel had born Joseph, Jacob left Laban. Okay, let's go to 28. I'll show you this. Laban gives Leah, elder's daughter, to Jacob as a wife. Let's go to 27 now. Rebecca calls Jacob and sends him to Laban. What are we developing in these chapters here? You'll see. 26. Now let's go to 26, okay? We're going to go to Genesis now. Genesis 25. Yishak calls Esau, Isaac, his elder son, to make savory meat. So this is Genesis 25 right here. 25, right? So this is Jubilees 26. Jubilees 27, right? Jacob with Laban. Jubilees 28, right? Laban, Leah. Jubilees 29. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. After Rachel had born Joseph, Jacob leaves Laban secretly. And now we see that they're creating a family. Right? Watch this. And Jacob saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep. And Jacob called Leah and Rachel and spoke kindly unto them that they should come with him to the land of Canaan. Okay? So now we see here in this chapter that he starts having, I believe it's this one, the Jordan. Rebecca's 14 years, the ones between plains of reaping and autumn season, then winter. Okay, return of well or oath to the bow. This is a good chapter, you guys, when you have a hard time. But anyways, my point here, families, from 26, 27, 28, and 29, and 30, they're establishing the nation of Israel. Which is why in 30, these other nations, which we're not supposed to mix with, not only do they mix with us, but they raped our young sister. So if you're going to this book, now explain to me how come Abraham is out of the Ur of the Chaldees and not Africa. Now, if Canaan's a very influential part here in this book, why do you ignore the fact that Canaan was not supposed to be in Canaan land? That's why it was called Canaan. That's not part of Africa. Now, Canaan was supposed to be where? In West Africa. Why do you guys ignore that? Oh, that's right. It doesn't convince you. I mean, it's not convenient for you. That the Khazars have put Africans in movies, making look as good people that have been oppressed, hip, cool, understandable, etc. That's why Whitey is upset and crying about all the wokeness. I know. Khazarians and the West Africans working together still. All this works together against each other just to cause a confusion. That's why the class tomorrow, fam. This one here. Well, you guys know which one. The Pan-Africanism and Zionism. I'm going to show you the similarities in them historically. So now, anyways, as you guys can see, right? As you guys can see, this nonsense. But let's listen a little bit more, and then we'll be done.
Stone him with stones, for he hath wrought shame in Israel, and they shall burn the woman with fire, because she has dishonored the. You know that it's abomination for the Lord for us to take any heathen woman, right? So just thinking about it, if it's an abomination for you to have a heathen or a wife, all right, what happened to the child? And we're going to continue reading. You said you wanted me to go to Deuteronomy 23?
Yeah, before you go there. So we got to understand too. So we're gonna address some things towards the end of the lesson, because see, there were some cases where our forefathers didn't mix, but we're gonna talk about those consequences, because mixing with other heathen nations comes with consequences. That's something you have to realize. All right. So go ahead, brother.
No, mixing with Canaan caused sincere consequences. And we see them this day in America, why we're not supposed to mix with Canaan. I'll give you one example why we're not supposed to mix with Canaan. This is a wicked nation of people. And if you give your daughters to these people, they will influence them to cause them to err. Remember, a well-instructed woman is only by a well-instructed man. Okay? So check this out, family. You decide. Let's go.
Romeoville family gone in a series of near silent shots nearly 3 months ago. What happened to them? Who did it and why? Tonight, the I-Team has a better idea after reviewing evidence we've been gathering for weeks and seeing information local police preemptively released today.
Step out of your vehicle with your hands up.
We begin at the end, 600 miles from Chicago on an Oklahoma highway. Police body cams with a manhunt coming to a fiery finish.
I got door, do not see movement.
Behind the wheel of this black GMC, Nathaniel Huey Jr., dead from a gunshot wound. Huey's fiancée, Irma Linda Palomo, also shot and later dying. Tonight, Romeoville police say they both planned and carried out the killings of 32-year-old Alberto Rolón, his 38-year-old wife, Zoraida Bartolome, their 2 young boys, ages 7 and 9, and the family's 3 dogs. He was the shooter, they say, and she drove the getaway car. They say Huey Jr. had a relationship with the Romeoville mother who he murdered and carried out the crime with his current fiancée. In September, an attorney representing Palomo's family was adamant, telling ABC7 she was not involved with the homicides.
She's a victim, just like the Romeoville family is a victim.
But now, police tell us Palomo was never the endangered person that her family claimed in a police report during the manhunt. Tonight, the family said in a statement they had no previous knowledge that police considered Palomo a participant in a quadruple murder plot. And now, new video obtained by the I-Team shows what Palomo and Huey were doing less than an hour before the pursuit, fiery crash, and shooting that ended with them both dead.
They're holding hands. It's not an animated discussion. It looks like a conversation you'd have with a friend.
ABC7 police affairs consultant and former suburban police chief Bill Kushner watched Walmart video we obtained showing Huey and Palomo buying what appears to be a burner phone, hair dye, and other cosmetics.
What does this say to you? You're on the run. You don't want to be caught. You don't want to be found. If you're going to change your appearance, this is almost a Hollywood plot.
This fugitive couple, laughing and looking relaxed, would themselves be dead in an hour. Romeoville police tonight say it will take weeks to determine all aspects of what happened to this family.
See, family? First Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Which is why this scripture, I waited. I saw it earlier. Did you take it up? Where is it at? This one. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. How? Because eventually witchcraft expresses itself. And stubbornness is no different than iniquity and idolatry, meaning vanity, self-freaking worship. Self-freaking worship. And quite frankly, family, yeah, it's sad, bro. It's sad because, and they both deserve it. They're just as bad as he does, she do too. I don't know if the wife of him was really involved. What a sad case, man. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, women. Tell you something, women. Y'all want to mess with these nations? Go ahead, man. Go. By all means, please go. Go. But be sincere with your man about, hey, listen, I don't want to be with you no more. Move on. This is a prime example how the Most High is dealing with people now.
Bruh.
And now he is really cursing you and blessing you. You cause a nation of Yeshayahu possibly to be killed by Canaan, by the spirit of Canaan. And you were part of it. Just like in 1492, how some of you sellouts helped El Gringo and an Africano to defeat us and giving us smallpox. Yeah, you guys also sold us out too. A lot of you. So that's why you 2/3 deserve to burn. And I'm so thankful that I had the chance to repent because I could have been that 2/3. I still could be if I play stupid. Stay away from that crap music, man. Low frequency lyrics, imaginary hard lots, destroy the mind, especially the weaker vessel. Canaanite and Khazarian bringing to the story spirit. Yeah, because guess who has the money to push that? What about that girl? What? Pound Town. Pound Town. Pound Town. Now you got little girls wanting to dance with Pound Town. Well, you know which ones. Clearly it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Exodus 18:22. 22:18. And Leviticus 20:6. The soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against the soul, and I will cut off from him among his people. So which one's two? Deuteronomy 18:10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divinations, or observeth of times, or an enchanter of witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. This is those people that say, I had a dream and I created a 12-type chart. That guy, F.S. Cherry, he was worshiping the Talmudish designs of the Kabbalah. Yes, that's where you BHIs learned this from. So you have come from the roots of familiar spirits, which is why your doctrine is flawed. Deuteronomy 18:20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have commanded him to speak, or shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. Why? Why? And you too, if thou shalt say in thy heart, how shall we know the word of, I'm sorry, now this is, let me not say that. And if thou shalt say in thy heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord has not spoken? So he's saying, like, well, how do we know that they're not true? Here's how we know, family. One West, ISUPK, ISUPK. Yes, those dummies too. IUIC, GMS, Sakari, every single BHI school that you know of came from the root of them that believe that the world was going to end in 2000. Y2K. That's where it came from. When a prophet speak in the name of Yahoo, if the thing follow not, meaning if the end of the world wasn't in 2000, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord had not spoken. That's when he says, how do we know that this is a fake prophet? The end of the world, Doc! The end of the world, Doc! Never happened. Ecclesiastes 1:14. I've seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all this is vanity and vexation of the spirit. Yes, sir, that is very true. Drug dealer, witchcraft. Of course, man, that's what happens. That's what's actually pushing it. Jeremiah 23:25. I've heard what the prophets say that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed. Hey, the 12-type chart, Ark. Yeah, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man. I had a dream, and I visualized it, and God told me, and... That's all it is, family. Just a bunch of crazy loonies. All right. Anyhow, listen, I went over a little bit 2 minutes, but it's all good. You know, I don't really have much. Oops, sorry about that. I don't really have much to share in this case. Look, this is the actual link that you guys can use right here. Check this out. Boom. This is for a pretty good example. Here's another link right here. Hold on a second. Here it goes right here. There's the other link right there. So this is again, it's a Septuagint, which is translations. This is the Septuagint translation of the New Testament. So it has the KJV translation here, but then it has the original translation word for word here on the bottom of the Greek. For example, thou mayest say not say in thine heart, who shall ascend to, right? That the man which thou does the things shall live by them, but the righteous which is in faith speak on the wise. You'll see that there's very differences in regards to oh yeah, right there. That's it, bro. Pharmakia. That's I think that's I don't know if that's in the scriptures, but the translation on the concordance is there. So that's how you read that one. This is the same thing, but you got to borrow it. This is not broken explained here. This is just like without a KJV, just from Greek to the translation, not interpretation. Okay. Now, Hivites, you got it all. You guys understand. And again, it's all about deciphering. It's all about studying. It's all about understanding. Use the KJV use this. Also use, for example, the Blue Letter Bible, right? And don't just go by, let's say, Deuteronomy. Let's say this one. Don't just go by this translation. Grab some of these other ones, man. If you have a misunderstanding, like these be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. Now, this is where you also have to really, it matters to you. Like you have to care about studying. So then now you click on these particular tools that help you understand each word. This is Yiddish, so it doesn't really matter how it sounds, but you get an understanding. What do you mean the word these? So these will tell you, well, these, those, this, such, and such, used before antecedent or following antecedent, something like that. I can't even pronounce it, man. So, anyways, as you can see, this, and then also you have your you have this right here, right? And then you have your several dictionaries. You have dictionaries that can help you. You know, you have the dictionary Bible as well. You have the concordance. You have all the tools to really start breaking down particular understandings. And I'll tell you something, family. When you read this and this, you'll be surprised. Watch this. There's so many similarities. Let me see. In regards to the Septuagint translations to the hold on. Is it this one? Yeah, look at this. For example, watch this. Just make it real quick, okay? You have here King James Old Testament translated from Mesoteric Hebrew text, 1000 AD. Septuagint translated from original Hebrew text to Greek. All right? Comments. Proverbs. So here it goes right here. Here's one example. The wicked shall be, Proverbs 21:18. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous and the transgressor for the upright. How they originally translated from Hebrew to Greek. It says, and a transgressor is the abomination of a righteous man. What does this verse mean in Mesoteric text? So it starts like giving you really interesting parts. Like, for example, look, in the old King James, Proverbs 25:15 says, lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. Okay, I understand it. Bring not an ungodly man into the dwelling of the righteous, neither be deceived by the feeding of the belly. Septuagint. Why is that important? Check this out. What does this verse mean in Mesoteric text? Compare the Septuagint verse in John 2:1 and 10. If there come unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. Bring not an ungodly man into the dwelling of the righteous. This translation doesn't do that. And you see several particular points. Very good points. So, you know what, family? This was given to me by a brother that just, hey, check it out, man. And I started reading it, and I'm like, man, you know what? I had been praying for the Father to, continue to lead me the right path because I did have questions. Because I was like, wait a minute, there are some translations that have really deep flaws. Where do I go from here? I don't want to lose my faith. I don't want to question my beginnings. Watch this. Isaiah 3:12. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of the path. O my people, they that pronounce you blessed lead you astray and pervert the path of your feet. That's exactly what Christians do. You are blessed, son. Go. Go now. It's go. Go. You're blessed, my sons. You're blessed, my daughters. It says clearly, O my people, they that pronounce you blessed lead you astray. Hey, just dip your head in water and you are saved. Hey, I blessed you with what do you call it? What's that thing called? What do you call it? Agua bendita. You know what I mean? I bless you with agua bendita. Ya estás bendecido, hijo. Ve con Dios. Ve con Dios. Oh, my people, they that pronounce you blessed lead you astray and pervert the path. Here's one more and then we'll be done. Proverbs 9:10, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Okay, that's good, but check it. The Septuagint from Hebrew. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the counsel of saints is understanding. For to know the law is the character of a sound mind. That's beautiful, family. That's beautiful, family. Check this out. Timothy 2:1-7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. Which then, if you precept that with Proverbs 9:10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the counsel of the saints is understanding. For to know the law is the character of a sound mind. That's why when you pray for the Most High, pray in sincerity, not for filthy lucre, not because you want to be smarter than other people. It's for your own damn salvation. Not to show classes to you and say, look what I know, family. No, man, it's for me, damn it. First, it's for me. Because I'm fighting for myself first. If you guys want to listen and study on your own and listen to what I'm showing you because I'm using this path, then Lord willing, y'all follow, and Lord willing, I don't mislead you. Proverbs 12:6, the words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood. 12 tight charak. Don't worry, they'll fall. I'll bet you Nate the Snake is licking his chops right now, saying, I have all you dumb Hispanics in fear. You are not rooted. When the Meshiacha returns, you're going to be burnt because you're wavering still. You're not hot or cold. You're right in the middle because you ain't blackety black enough. But the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. On the Septuagint, the words of the ungodly man are crafty. So now it says, compare the Septuagint verse with 2 Peter 2:3. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you. Family, I appreciate y'all being here with me today, man. I hope it was edifying. I really do. And Lord willing, we can definitely do this again. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, tomorrow, I have this class that I really am excited about. Lord willing, you guys can join me. And we can, and we could take this. I'm telling you, man, what I found is heavy duty. Heavy duty. Heavy duty. Como dice el hermano en Carlito. Oye, Carlito. From Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Y'all remember that shit? Carlito's way. Anyways, man, compare what you say. Hey, man, good to see you here, bro. Compare beasts and plants. You will see Africans in Piceps and American in KGV. Damn, that's a good example, bro. Go and sin more, Christina. Go and sin more. Go and sin more, damn it. Wrong. We're going to get, we're going to get afros fly and get superpowers to put foot on Edom. Yeah, that's pretty sad, bro. It's pretty sad that they actually use 1 Corinthians 15 and 50 to confuse y'all. Philippians 3:21, and then they ice it with Revelation 1:14 and 15. It's pretty simple, family. It's Hold on, shut up. Hey, I didn't tell you to talk. Anyways, all right. So, yeah, Quan, man, appreciate you being here, bro. Shalom, bro. Good always to see you, man. Hope you continue to help heavy duty, bro. I hope you help me with some of the scriptures, man. Great class. We'll be ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow's class, family. I'll be completely free of mind. By the way, today is technically my 7th day. So I am in my 7th day, all right? We our new moon. And by the way, I'm going to do a class on the new moon days throughout the year, and then when the major high holy days will fall as the year goes on, I'll touch on them. But I will have a class real soon on the new moon Sabbath when they fall throughout the year for 12 months. You'll see how it works. And I'm also going to show you a slithers of Enoch and explain how the actual functionality, the science behind the moon and the sun, and its actual 7% of steps that it takes in order for it to fulfill its cycle. Every 14 days or 15, it actually goes through the cycle, broken in seven portions. Heavy duty, family. All praises to and glory to our Father that He taught me some math, or else I would have never figured that one out. All right? Y'all take care, man. Shalom, shalom, saludos, buenas noches, buenos días, jeremías, and you guys take care, man. See you tomorrow, bro.
Muero porque toques el cielo.
cielo, pero no el suelo, así que créetelo. Quítate el velo velozmente, bro. Vívete tu sueño, pero despierta a la hora que toca. Esa hora, motherfucker, wake up. Yo me meo en tu cubata, antes bebo, matar ratas son tan. Vaya al bosque a lo Tarzán mientras enlazan fraternidad en casa con su polo colister a estrenar. Se han dejado en el desván de su pensar un mar de ideas. Son grandes ideas ardiendo en chimeneas antiguas. Ríe Dios al ver que te santiguas. Su mente y su luz son ambiguas como mi voz. Lo que para ti es un don, para mí una misión fija. Mis versos son de ninja, tu poesía pa' fijas. Que no te fijan, caen más allá del cristal. La matriz hipnotiza, mi energía os hace trizas. Yo en mi nave nodriza, comiendo pizza con piña, moldea taroides, vórtices. Con mi mente arborescente, junto con Isis y Milos para crear Pegasus en ese perro. Cánticos lemurianos me hacen sentir como en mi hogar la noche se avecina y se afilan colmillos de vampiras psíquicas. Frecuencias del malestar las alimentan. Nuestro deber es tenerlas raquíticas. Bazookas espaciales enlatada con la función del sol central, causando desinformaciones bíblicas. Todo lo existente es relativo, o al menos la materia que te describo. Soy antipersonas como las minas y mino. La moral del que venga a negar lo que digo con la mira pues tan sombrigo. Si me retiro del partido que sea como Figo. Conocidos en me la pela en verdad. Si en mi barrio me conocen más que tú a tu enamorada. No hay payasos, solo en anémonas. Gárgola Andrómeda eres. Conserva tus células primigenias o no podrás volar. El virus se llevó a unos cuantos, pero el ego a más. Se elevó el más a la opulencia. Digo, ciencia, debajo el Satanás en el espejo. Jesucristo, la conciencia del flow. La tierra y su paz están vibrando. Los sentimientos son la trampa que están manejando. Los hilos de los cuales tú y tu ego estáis medio colgando. No es que yo sea un superdotado, ni tú un tonto. Solo lo que tú sabes de mierda yo sobre el cosmos. Que lo estudio y profundamente sano me lo tomo. Si no ya hubiera ido a visitar al doctor. Porque no soy devoto, mucho menos un santo. Un santo yo jamás pudo, pero dale que asalto cuando en verdad sé que tendría que sudarme todo la polla. Pero pienso que hay que vivir por algo. Que en el letargo cure lo enfermo. Sabor amargo, remedio eterno. Me pregunto a toda esa gente que le he hecho y canalizo desde el cielo un verbo al cielo, bro.